like glowing. If you're getting them, I'm getting them. Hi, hello, and welcome to The Bookish Life.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Tori. In today's episode, we are answering your questions. Any question that you had for us, we asked. I was like, give it to us.
If you're not following us on Instagram, you should.
You should.
These are all from people on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite platform.
Is it?
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm on Instagram like all day, every day.
Yeah, I would say Instagram's probably become my favorite, but we have something exciting to share before we dive into the episode. Is that we have a newsletter. Woohoo! Officially. So As you guys know, we do a podcast episode every 2 weeks now. Do we want to bring it back to every week? Yes. But I just think that's, depending on our schedule, sometimes not feasible.
Yeah.
So maybe if we get our shit together better, we'll do it.
Is that why
week.
you wanted to film today?
No, I was just.
Are you going to edit this weekend?
I wanted to edit tomorrow. Yes. So like.
Okay, maybe we're gonna do 2 weeks in a row.
Maybe, and then I'm coming to see you. We can record stuff too.
Well, I only have one mic though, so
I bring my stuff.
Sure.
Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. Sorry. So we have a newsletter, and we have been thinking about this idea for a while. Jess actually came up with it, and she was like, "Hey, what if we did a newsletter where we send out like what our favorite read of the week is, what our favorite, like what we're currently reading, what we're currently listening, because we do an audiobook and an ebook or physical book like separately from that. Like what videos we're posting, what videos we posted on our Patreon, just so you guys can see if you don't follow us on Instagram, or we also don't really post.
Even if you do.
Yeah, and we don't always post about that stuff, but.
And I was thinking like sometimes we could do like what the puppies are up to and just like life stuff in there too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And I had the idea maybe to do some giveaways over there of just like some extra stuff that we have. Like I have books
tell me
around. I know, I thought about that the other day.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I know. I do have some. I have a lot I'm getting rid of, so I could always put some aside for giveaways.
Yeah. Like we always get books. We always unhaul books, and there might be books that you guys want. And if that's some books that you want, then you can join over there. But the subscribe link is in our description box, so you can go check that out. Someone commented when I shared it just on our community page, is it free? Yes, it's 100% free. Like it's not a paid. It's not a paid thing.
I get emails like that for the authors I work for. They'll like respond after signing up. They're like, "Is this free?" I'm like, "Yes." So I don't know. Maybe there's like paid newsletter things.
I don't know if there is. I don't know anything about it, but this is 100% free. It'll be sent to your inbox every single week, where we chat about, different things, what we're doing. If we went to a book signing, we'll do like a roundup of pictures in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just fun stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So you could subscribe, of course. And if we have a new episode, we'll post that in the newsletter as well. So
yeah.
My hair looks very pretty today. I'm very proud of it.
I know. Did you do that after I talked to you today?
I look like a hot mess when I talked to Jess. My hair was up, frizzy. I had no makeup on.
I was like, I did not remember you looking this put together 5 hours ago.
No, I just did it like 30 minutes ago. So
okay.
But yeah, turned out pretty.
All right. Well, we asked for questions. Tori got a few. We'll go with yours first.
Oh yeah, I forgot what we're talking about. Okay, the first question: a book that you have total different opinions on. One loves it and one, like the other, hates it.
Well, I feel like it's more so only when I love a book and you hate it. Have you ever loved a book that I hated?
Say you swear.
Yeah, and you told me to read that, and I was like, what the heck? And then someone's like, this is the angstiest book I've ever read. And I was like, listen, I love angst. This was not it.
It wasn't the angstiest book, but it did have angst in it.
Oh, it was very annoying. The hero at the end, so annoying. How the heroes were introduced, so annoying. I was like, I don't care about either of you.
I loved it.
He was so boring. But like good guy. He was so boring.
I didn't like Powerless, and you loved Powerless.
Yes. And I was annoyed.
But also people validated my opinion in the comments. So I'm not like, but it could be because you read it like before. I feel like a lot of people read it this year. You read it the end of last year.
Well, no, I finished it this year.
Oh, did you?
I like started it last year and then I finished like the second half this year. Yeah.
I thought it was the audiobook, but some people were like, no, I think if you would have physically read it, you didn't like it. And I was like,
well, it like makes me annoyed when people are like, it's copying Hunger Games. I was like, tournament style fantasy is so like Throne of Glass does that. Like it is so common.
No, it wasn't like,
I get annoyed.
That's not what bothered me. I really think it was just like the constant back and forth of them like fighting and training and fighting and training. I just felt really bored in the middle of it.
the tension was just so good, and like he
it
just
was
like really liked her.
That was just like some stuff I liked and some stuff I didn't like. So
okay, I don't think there's anything else.
We usually don't really have like super differing opinions.
I mean, it'll be like you give something 3, I give it 4, but nothing like 5 and like 3.
No. Except Powerless and Say You Swear. That's the 2 more recent ones. I know I read Credence way after you. But
I read Credence as an arc. I had no idea what I was getting into.
But you didn't like the person she ended up with.
I loved a different character that I wanted her to be with. I did not like who she ended up with.
I loved who it would have ruined the book for me if she didn't pick this person. So if you know, you know. If don't, go read Credence. It's one of my favorite books. What's another book? Oh, Devil of Dublin.
It's like one of my favorite books.
I know.
Didn't like it?
I gave it 2 stars. I was so annoyed.
Because you were like, she just said she was just gonna sit down and see where the story took her, and like
that's
what
exactly
was it? I
what
remember
it felt
you
like.
talking about it, but it was so good.
No.
She's writing a sequel too, and I'm very excited.
I mean, I wanted to love it, one, because it's in our book box, but
I thought you read it before that.
I did. I read it way before that. Before you, I read it before you picked it up.
You read it before I read it?
Yeah. No, was it right after? I think it might have been right after, around the same time. But I also listened to the audiobook and you physically read it.
Yes.
I do think sometimes the audiobooks, like the way I listen to it, sometimes it could like ruin it and I just get annoyed.
Yeah.
So, and usually now, so like I will try and catch that. And if I can, I'll switch to physically reading so it doesn't ruin my rating. But sometimes if I want to, for a vlog or something, it doesn't do that. So.
Oh, you know what else is Divine Rivals?
Oh, yeah. But I do think that's because it was pitched to you differently.
But I still didn't like it.
But were you reading it thinking it was going to like turn into more fantasy?
Well, yeah, I just didn't like it because it was historical fiction, basically, with barely any fantasy. And I thought I was bored the whole time. And the romance I didn't like the romance.
See, that would be one book I would not recommend to you because I know you don't like historical fiction.
Right.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I only picked it up because I thought it would be different. And like people literally were comparing it to Fourth Wing. And I'm like, who are you?
One that I'm interested in what you think of it was Isabel Ibanez.
Ibanez, yeah.
Is that I'm interested because I DNF that. Not like not because like I didn't like it. It was because like I don't like where this is gonna go. It's more like a mystery trying to solve things right from the beginning, and that's not what I like.
Yeah. Well, I think we're pretty good at also recommending things to each other, like we would know. Yeah. So while we do have like different tastes, like you said, like you wouldn't have recommended Divine Rivals to me because you know I wouldn't like it, and I didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that was the first question.
We agree.
Yeah. Another one is, what is something people assume about you that isn't true? Something people assume about me that isn't true. That I'm always bubbly and upbeat, so you tell me. Jess likes to point out that like online, I'm like in my videos, I'm like, hi, hello. And I'm very like upbeat and positive. But in real life, sometimes I can be like, not like that.
Yeah. I mean, you're not like on 24/7. So
yeah.
But like you're like that at like signings in front of people you are, and like online you are. So
but that also just takes a lot of energy, and sometimes I don't have that energy to give to that. So it's not like me being fake because I am upbeat and positive like that. But there's also like a part of me that's like, wow. That makes sense. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, we've talked about it. Like some people think I might be, I don't know what word to use. Like, I mean, some people think we're intimidating, and like,
I know someone told me that, and I was like,
yeah, what? I'm a normal person, but also like I'm very like direct, so I can see how that might come across as like thinking I'm mean. We've talked about this. Like Christy from Christy Reads a Lot and I have very similar like personalities.
Yep.
And so I'm not Tori bubbly, and so some people might see that as like, oh, I'm like stuck up or like, you know, just like mean to people, but like I literally am not. I am very approachable. I'm not mean. I don't think I'm mean. So.
Jess is the meanest person I know. That's why I do all this stuff with her.
I am not mean unless I don't like you because you've done something. So.
But even then you're not mean. You just don't talk to them anymore.
True. Yes. Like I know I can't be mean to someone. Like I'm too like scared of people to be mean to them. Like I could never, like I'm in awe of people who can just like tell someone off. I'm like, I could never in my life do that ever. I'm like terrified of doing that. So
yeah, I like to
you know,
say
because
that
you
I'm
told
like
me
that.
like no, but you told me that you like used to be the kind of person that would just like rip into people.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, never in my life. Like as a teacher, I never yelled. And they're like, I couldn't even like imagine you yelling.
That makes
like,
sense. That makes sense. But like for me, it's like, I don't know. When I was younger, I had like the temper. I don't know if it's a redheaded thing or I just learned it. Like there is a stigma and there's like that thing. But like I just went from 0 to 100. Like Brandon would do something instead of me like stopping and thinking. I would just pop off and be absolutely horrible. Same thing with my parents. I would do it to my parents all the time. My brother,
no.
He got the brunt of that shit. Like trust me. So my friends did too. But yeah. So I've tried hard to work and be a better person and not snap back. I just snap back in my head and I don't actually say it out loud. So.
But I feel like also that's why I'm a pretty easy person. Like my sister and I, like we like bicker, but we've never like full blown like yelled at each other ever.
Yeah, like when she throws something away that you didn't want her to throw away and you're like, why did you do that away? And then she feels bad and goes through the whole trash for you to freaking find it. I can't believe she did that.
It wasn't the whole trash, but she did get it. She found it. It was important, okay? And she like never opens my mail, so that's why I was like, why this one? Why did you open it?
I wonder, we should do like an assumptions video.
People's assumptions, so we should.
Yeah, that would be fun. Should we do that? Thanks, babe. You brought me water. If you would like to see an assumptions video where we post, let us know. Okay. One is, what is your instant icks in books? We both have the same face.
Well, there is something that bothers me is because like I work out a lot. Like I work out 5 days a week and I am not super skinny, so like you have to work hard to like get a good body, and it's like the hero had 6-pack abs and like never mentions him not once going to the gym. I'm like, how does he have 6-pack abs?
Oh yeah,
please tell me. Like that bothers me. Or like the hair, I mean, I guess like people are like naturally thin, but when they're like built like they like say the heroes are, I was like, please just mention like once that he's working out. Like
you know what,
natural.
I will say that's another ick is I think I saw Abby from Abby Reads talk about this, I think on her stories or something like that. She was like, not every girl is put together, or like is not every girl, it just doesn't wear makeup and feels beautiful.
Oh yeah,
like, just like, wears mascara. It's like, no, I mean I can be comfortable in my own skin if I want to, but at the same time I love wearing makeup.
I also do not look put together when I don't have makeup on. So
no, like Jess saw me this morning and I look like a freaking hermit, and now I do not look like a hermit. So, but like some people look completely different with and without makeup. I am someone who looks completely different. I can't really tell like too much difference.
For me, I don't look like super different, but like I feel like
different.
I look more tired when I don't have makeup on.
Well, yeah, because you're covering like underneath your eyes, but me, I look totally different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the eyebrows, but
it's the eyebrows and the eyelashes because they're blonde, and that's why. My bare minimum, even if my therapy appointments are early in the morning, it's eyebrows. You
gotta put your eyebrows on.
Eyebrows and mascara. That's the 2 things I put on. Okay. But yeah, that's my only thing.
But that's true. Like, oh, she's just not like other girls. She just like looks so pretty without makeup. I'm like, well, like people can look pretty with makeup.
Yeah. That's all the questions I had. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Will you ever have any authors on your podcast?
I just thought about this last night.
Oh, did you?
I was like, we should have someone on. I was like, we should have Catherine on.
I feel like that would be hard though.
So
editing
hard.
And like we have filming cameras, but like would theirs be like on their computer? Like it wouldn't be great quality either. And I don't know if they'd have a mic. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know if it would be something like that. I think it would be strictly audio.
But still, like, I don't think their audio quality, like, would we have them record on GarageBand and, like, send it to us? Or would it be, like...
That's a Brandon question.
A StreamYard? We'd have to figure it out. We'll check.
Yeah. But that's something we wanted to do. We just didn't realize, like, when we started the podcast, well, I did not realize the logistics of doing all that, so...
I mean, it's a lot of equipment to have, like, a good quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next question. If you could meet any book character, who would it be and why?
Oh, my God, this is hard. Anyone? I lean more towards female characters with these questions. Like I could care less.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Yeah,
I could literally care less about meeting a male character just because I'm like, But I like find so many women in like romance books so I say attractive, but like in the way that like they're powerful, they're strong, they're like everything that I want to be. So like obviously Elena Lombardi. If
I mean, I'm just thinking of like who would be cool to talk to.
If I could have a fucking day with her, oh my God, I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
Lose my shit.
That would be cool.
Who's one for you?
I don't know. They're all like fake to me. Like none of them are real people. So I never like would think of like.
Okay. Joey and Aoife from Binding and Keeping. I mean, from Saving and Redeeming 6. I do want to spend the day with them. Just to see them in real life, because there's certain characters that I really feel like are real, like they're living in Ireland doing those things, and I think that's the way the author writes their books, right? Binding and Keeping 13, that whole series, you're like day to day what they're going through. Same thing with Magnolia, it's the day to day, you know what they're doing.
See, I hate that.
But you loved Magnolia.
Yes, but like I like super angsty, messy people, so I'm thinking like my favorite books are like Manacled. Like I would never want to see them in real life, like.
Well, they have a happily ever after. It's like now, not during the book. It's after the book.
Yeah, but then like that's their life is so boring. Why would I want to hang out with them? You know, like I don't like I've told you, I don't read epilogues. Like I don't care when people are just like happy hanging out. Like I don't want to hang out with you.
You're so weird.
Sorry.
So weird. I would love to spend the day with Joey. Like just get in his mind to see how he is. Oh, I love him.
Will you be watching Bridgerton this season?
Yeah.
Yes. I looked it up and it's 3 a.m.
I told you.
I wanted to start at like midnight and then watch it for 4 hours and sleep for a little bit because it's release day for Catherine and it's going to just be a crazy day. And then Tori's like, it doesn't actually drop until 3 a.m. I was like, what are you talking about?
Sorry.
She was right.
You know what? I am less excited about this season. And it's also probably because I didn't read these books.
So this is one of my least favorite books in the series.
Book 4 or book 3?
Book 4. No, okay. I loved Benedict's book.
But they're skipping his, right?
Yeah. And like Colin, he's fine. I mean, like the glow up is amazing for his character, but like personality wise, he's just like a rich guy that complains, and I like have no sympathy for that. So
I think that's why like I want to watch it, but it'll probably be like the day of or day after. Like I wasn't for season 2. I was like honed in because I really liked Anthony's book.
Oh my God, but season 2 was so angsty, and I really I know people really hate that season, but I really like that season.
I liked it.
So, but I want to watch it all at once and vlog it. So
I did that last year. I won't do that this year. That's too much for me.
It's only 4 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I might. I don't know. Depending on what I'm doing that day.
Release day. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Are your new jobs the most challenging jobs you've had, or were your past jobs harder?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I was thinking about this the other day.
It was harder. It's harder in a way where I want to keep working all the time and I constantly want to do something because I enjoy what I do. So it's hard to put like a hard stop time. I feel like I've gotten better than you have. But like I will try to stop by a certain time and like not go over that time unless it's warranted, like unless something comes up where I'm like, fuck, I forgot to do this, let me get this, or oh, this came up, let me do this type of a thing. But the content is not hard, like the actual job itself. No. It's nice because we do different things. We have like a creative outlet for some of the authors we can do creative graphics and stuff like that, but you know, for me, most of it is more like the admin side of it, which I used to be a paralegal, and paralegals are basically admins for lawyers. So it's pretty much the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking about though, like I care, like by the end of teaching, I just like did not care.
Yeah.
And I cared about my kids, and I cared about like doing my job, and I was a really good teacher. Like I had really great test scores for my kids. I like did what I was supposed to do. Like I was a good teacher. I know that. But I just like was not wanting to put in extra time. I was like just clock in, clock out. I was like, because when I first started, I would like take stuff home and work out. No, and I didn't do that by the end. But my job now, I care so much also about who I'm working for and their business and wanting to make them proud and like support them and see them do well, that I feel like there is a little bit more pressure to like not mess up, to try my hardest, like do what I can to support them and like do the next best thing for their business. So it's definitely a lot more pressure, which is also why I think it's hard for me to stop, because I'm like, oh, but like they need me to do this, even though they don't want me like killing myself working all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but this is important what I'm doing. So that's the hard part.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like if you're ever in a job that like doesn't bring you joy anymore, it's okay to like part ways with that. Like before, it was all about, for me, I'm very not money driven, but money's important, and like paying my bills, obviously. So like being a paralegal is like, I liked my job, but I was more scared of losing my job because I wouldn't have money. But now it's like, okay, if I have to, you know, move things around, it's like, it's one of those things where you can, they're easy ways to still like grow your career, even though you're working for like X amount of people. Like we just added stuff to Forever and Always because we were like, oh, we really like doing this part of working for an author. We cannot take on another client. There's no fucking way we can do that. There's no way, but we could have this creative outlet and offer this to authors, like creating graphics or stuff like that. So
yeah, and it would not be as like fulfilling to me if I didn't like the authors I was working for and like what I was doing for them. So I just like deeply care about all of them and what I'm doing for them. So
yeah, that's true.
But they also, I feel like, all really value us. So
that's true.
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
This next question: what is your fondest memory with each other?
Okay, fondest or like funniest?
Fondest, not funniest.
Because I think fondest and funny can go both ways. So the first one immediately comes to mind is when our first book bonanza we went to. It's two things. We were rooming with Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book. Okay. And my husband FaceTimed me and he was like, oh, how's it going not cussing for the weekend? And Morgan was in the room.
I think you've told this story before.
Did I? Oh my God, that was
podcast.
hilarious.
I think so.
But the other one that goes with that is like the first time I take my makeup off, I come in the room for that, and Jess looks to Morgan and was like, Tori has no eyebrows. Can't you see it? Like, what? She has to fill in her eyebrows. I guess it was like so shocking to you that like I filled in my eyebrows.
Like people don't see you. But like your eyebrows perfectly match your hair right now. And I would not know that you have like that's not normal. Your eyebrows match your hair.
Okay.
So I would have had no idea. And that was like one of the first times I saw you without makeup on, because I don't think I noticed. Or did you even take your eyebrows off when we were in Nashville?
You were there for one night and I think you got up before I left. So
I was like, I don't think I even saw you. So I was like, I was just shocked. I was like, oh my God, you really don't have eyebrows.
Oh my God. That's the funniest. But like fondest, what's yours?
I don't know. I mean, we've done a lot of fun stuff together.
Yeah. We've had a lot of good conversations when we're with each other too.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, we've been there when we've gotten to see like authors that are important to us, which is always fun.
It's so funny. Some of like our fondest things are like being there for each other, but like we're not in person.
Right. And so it's not like a specific moment, I feel like, that's been like very fond, but we're always there to support each other. Because I mean, like, we've gone through like life career changes together, and like we've been kind of on like we definitely did not plan that, but like we are on this journey like together, and like it's been fun. So
yeah,
we're also not very like, I mean, we send each other very sappy TikToks, but like we're not sappy in person. So
I am a sappy person in general, and I can count on like two hands how many times I've hugged Jess. It's always when I first see her, she gives me a hug, and when I leave, right? And I was having a moment. What was it in? Was it in Polycon? I was having a moment, and I was like, I turned to her and I was like, I need a hug, and usually I go to Brandon when I need hugs, but like, can you give me a hug?
Did that happen at Polycon?
Yeah, it was when we were sitting at the table. I don't remember
that happening.
But she is not a touchy person, and I would be someone that I'd like hang on you and touch you all the time. Like when I boop you on the nose.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, like, I'll hug people, but like,
you're not affectionate.
I'm not huggy.
You're not like overly affectionate.
No.
Yeah. I could be like that with certain people.
I show my friendship in other ways. So I get very, very protective of people, and like very upset when like the people I love are hurt. So yeah. Anyways, if you could make the other person read one book right now, what would it be?
Oh my God. Saving and Redeeming 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've read
all the ones you told me to, and yet you were the one who made that freaking TikTok and tagged me. It was like, I'm looking at you. I'm like, I'm looking at you.
I feel like, no, there's nothing I've been like obsessed with that you haven't read yet.
Oh, King of Pride. That's one. I haven't read that one.
Yeah. I did want you to read Icebound, but I don't know if you'll like love it.
Oh, that is in my cup to pick for my vlog. So
yeah. I was like, I know your answers. There's like 10 that you told me to read like right now. So
yep.
Anyways, best way to promote a favorite lesser known indie book.
Talk about it.
I feel like it's hard though because like Instagram pushes the hyped books. Like Funny Story by Emily Henry got 1,500 likes, but my post yesterday got 150 likes. So, and for context, I have 30,000 followers on Instagram, and it showed my content to less than 1,000 people. I looked at the insights, and it was like, your reach was 1,000 people. Out of 30,000, you're only showing my photo to 1,000 people.
I think really as an influencer, it can be hard because you want to promote like indie authors that people aren't talking about, or not many people have talked about. And like, right, we read a book like I read Chloe Walsh before she even got picked up, right? And I was like, more people need to read her. Like, obviously I heard buzz about her, but like not as much as she is now.
Yeah.
Same
but
thing
Unsteady.
With, Unsteady by Peyton Curtin. That is because I literally heard one of my other friends who's an influencer, Melissa from Book Bar. She talked about it and I was like, this sounds literally right up my alley. And I immediately picked it up and was a favorite of the year. That was at the end of the year, and then all of a sudden it got picked up. I was like, wow. I don't think that's because of me. But yeah, no, it's just like talk about it, post about it constantly. Like even if one post doesn't get a lot, post another. Like talk about it in multiple videos. Like if you're a content creator, do that. Post multiple TikToks with different trending sounds. But also like review them on Goodreads, Amazon if you can. Like every other platform, you know, like when people ask you for recommendations, like if it fits into a recommendation and you really love it, recommend it that way. So buy the paperback, if they have a hardback that you want more, buy the ebook, like read it in Kindle Unlimited, like, you know, or did I say buy the ebook? Whatever. Just support them in that way.
Yeah. Well, and then like, you know, like one or two people could pick it up, but then like one or two people could pick it up because of them. And then it's just like kind of slowly spreads. So
yeah. And that's what, like,
but it's hard.
When I talk about like other people, like I get a lot of my recommendations from either my followers who like, I think you would really like this book. One, because they watch all my fucking videos. So they're like, no, yeah, I know this is like all the good things for you. Or I see my friends talk about it and I'm like, sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't let Instagram's algorithm push you from posting what you want.
Yeah.
I still posted my photo.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is, does having a lot of books in a series push you away from trying a new to you author?
Yes and no.
I mean, if it's like a 20 book series, I'm like, no, thank you. But
well, it honestly
a lot
depends.
of people don't have like long series though.
Well, like Bella Roth, there's 8 books in her series, and you were like, holy crap.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sorry. She talked about it when we
Are you
her.
sure?
Yeah.
But there were only like 6 there.
I don't think the other 8 are out.
But
or maybe
like,
one of them was
finish it anyway. So.
And I know, like you don't finish series. For me, it depends. Like if it's a series that follows the same couple, like I'll read it. So like Chloe Walsh has that other series I was reading. There's like 6 books in that, and I've read 4 because the first 4 follow the same couple. But then I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can pause. They have their HEA. But if it's like different couples, I pop around.
Well, yeah, that's not intimidating because then it's like, well, I can read whatever. But I feel like even 6 isn't like a lot. I feel like what is the one that you read that I hate? Oh, they're very thick. There's like 12 books in that series. Suzanne something.
I didn't read those.
Zodiac Academy. Yes, you did.
Those. Okay, yeah. Okay. But I binged those in like a week. I knew I didn't have anything else to read. I was like, let's do this.
So I read the first one, but then like knowing there's like 12 books, I'm just like, no. Because at some point you're like, do you need to keep on writing about these characters?
Well, it's the same thing like Throne of Glass that you haven't read. Or continue.
Okay, but that's just because they're like 1,000 pages and there's 8 of them. So
there's definitely 7. 6
with
6 with the novella, without the novella. Yeah.
No, there's definitely 8.
Okay, there's 8 with the novella.
Thank you.
I'm missing a book.
Are you?
I'm missing my Throne of Glass. I don't know where that's at. That's why it's not on my stack. Anyway,
top 5 favorite authors.
Chloe Walsh, Gianna Darling, Kennedy Ryan,
Sarah J. Maas.
Sarah J. Maas. Catherine, I've read a lot of her stuff.
Jennifer Armentrout?
There's no I only have 5. I only have 5.
Okay.
That changes on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
What are yours?
Catherine? Gianna? Oh, Penelope Douglas?
Oh, see?
Kennedy Ryan? And I do love Sarah J. Maas so much. It is. I mean, because there's also authors that I like really, really love, but all-time favorites?
Yeah, those are hard.
When are you both going to do that Throne of Glass collab? I'm very excited for it since you talked about it.
What Throne of Glass collab?
I think you said you would reread them with me.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that. Sorry. You reread it on your own
I'll try
time?
to read them soon.
Okay.
Okay. By the end of the year.
Okay. Okay.
I have like a break now, but I have like a lot that I have to read right now. So
Yeah.
And it's hard too because like working for authors, I have 2 books this weekend that I have to beta read on top of a video I want to do and a video I'm still in the middle of doing. It's just, it gets to be a lot. What is your take on problematic authors? Still read from them or cut them out? I think that that's a very personal decision and varies case by case.
Yeah, like I can think, problematic can mean like a lot of different things, right? It could mean they treated a reviewer really shittily or they are a blatant racist. Like obviously those are very different, you know? At some point, if it's a problematic author, I'll just like not read them. Like there's other things to read. I'll cut them out. But like the problematic is like personal to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's been a couple and we won't name them, but like one was like a personal issue with you.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even read that author anymore just because that like situation made me mad.
But most of the time if something like I would say like in my head really bad happens, I'm just like, well, oh well. There's other authors to read. Like it's fine, you know. I'm not like mad about it. Well, I'm mad that they did certain things, but like I'm not mad that like I can't read their books because there's like how many other fucking books in the world, right? Like it's fine. That's kind of how I see it.
When one of the authors you work for has a new release, what's the day for you? Do you work more?
It depends on yes and no. And it depends on what I do for that author. Like
mostly like we obviously are online a lot during release day, like looking through like what people are posting and like monitoring like what reviews are coming in and like where they are, like the amount of times we're on Amazon during and after release day trying to refresh to see the rank and like pulling stuff for like newsletter content like you would do, but I do think that a majority of the work for a release is always before and after because we run ARC teams for authors, and so a lot of it is going through applications if they have applications open and then collecting reviews afterwards and like checking reviews, making sure people like actually reviewed when they took an ARC. So
yeah, that's true.
It's a lot more.
Yeah, like for Rebecca's release in April, I actually flew to DC on that day, on her release day, because I mean obviously I was nervous because I didn't plan that. Like she picked her release day and then I decided to go to Polygon. But I like to be present just in case of something happens. But really, it was just like refreshing the rank like all weekend. I was like refreshing and see what she was doing. I was checking Goodreads. Yeah. Like, I don't do emails or anything like that. Like, I don't, you know.
Yeah. So I do emails for a couple of my authors and it's way busier. Like Anna's release day was so busy. Like release week was so busy for her.
Or sometimes people will respond to like the newsletter, like to the team email, like we'll get sub like it, like I posted this, here you go. Like instead of just submitting the form, they like to like email us and let us know. I'm like, cool, thank you so much. Like there's a form though.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think also because Anna's so like widely read in like so many other countries, we're getting a lot of emails like, is this going to be on KU in this country? Is this going to be available? Like it lagged a little bit in one certain country, like being up on KU. So we had like 10 emails from people in that country being like, when is it going up? And I was like having to respond to everybody and like just like put out little fires all day. So yeah.
I am just happy though the next big trip that we go on, well I go on, is Hawaii. And well, that's when Rebecca's release is. It's the week after I get back from Hawaii, thankfully. I was like, at least I'm not going to be gone.
Yeah.
But also it makes me nervous that the whole first, like the week before, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Of course you're leaving them.
Of course.
The next one is, how did you guys meet?
We've talked about this before.
She slid into my DMs.
I was going to say Jess slid into my DMs. No, I slid into her DMs.
I did not slide into your DMs.
Yeah. It was mostly just like chatting about random shit. Her dogs, what we're reading.
Yeah, so like we got along casually.
Yeah.
And then went on the trip together.
Yeah.
And then
where
just,
you were
kept on going on trips together.
You were like, my dad and my sister bailed. I'm not going to stay in a room by myself. I was like, oh, but I really want you to come. And you're like, I'm not staying in a room, like a hotel room by myself. Like, I'm not driving by myself for that. And I was like, you could stay in our room.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. And we spent the weekend and then we just chatted about random shit.
Yeah. I don't even know like how we became like good friends.
After that, I feel like. Because then we were like, do you want to go to Book Bonanza?
Yeah. And I mean, like, we're just so similar. Like, and we are people who, if we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. So, like, we just were like, let's go to this signing. Let's go to this signing.
So we do always talk about how we're similar, but we're also very different in some ways.
Yes.
So, like, for example, I'm a night person. I will wake up and my prime hours are like 10:30 to 11 o'clock at night.
And then she'll FaceTime me at 8 o'clock at night on this rampage of getting things done. And I'm in bed with my dogs trying to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have very different hours. But I feel like work ethic wise and like friendship wise, like we're very similar.
Yeah. But it's also being a friend to someone, you have to realize how they work with certain things. So like if you have a conflict, the right and wrong way to go about them. Like sometimes people like just go about it the wrong way and it could ruin things. But like, you know how to tell me when I do something wrong. And I know
but like we also know when each other's annoyed. So we
we just leave it alone. I'm like, well, I fucking annoyed her, so I'll just leave it alone for a day. It's fine. Tomorrow will be better.
We're very aware. Yeah. But like we don't fight. We don't fight.
No, unless it's like something big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. We moved on from it.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to ask now, what if it was a big fight?
We've only had one big conflict, and that was because of outside factors. That was not at all. We were fine until someone freaked out, but it's fine.
Yeah.
What's a trope you wish you'd see more of in romances?
I feel like, there's so many. Like now there's so many tropes done, but now it gets down to like the micro tropes. That's really what it is.
My favorite is when they have a tattoo for each other.
I was just about to say that. The secret tattoo.
I love that. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. And I do like when it gets super angsty, but like siblings, significant other. Like I would obviously never want that in real life, but I'm like, oh, they're dating your sister, but like you're in love with them. And then you know you're going to end up together because there's a romance book. So good.
Yeah. I like the forbidden, like the different forbidden. Like I love a good dad's best friend's dad. But like give me like more forbidden, like not push the boundary in like that way, you know. But like
people really liked your credence.
Oh, you gave me that idea.
I did. I was like, we're kind of related.
Well, because I was like, do you have one for this photo? Because I like did an Instagram post with like different like aesthetically pleasing photos, and I wanted it to match the book. She's like, oh, this one would be good for credence. I was like, yeah, but what would I say? And she was like,
I was joking, kind of not. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, that is perfect. People loved it. I was like, yeah, it was Jess.
Yeah, it's me. I mean, that's also like going back to why we're friends too. Like we love bouncing ideas off each other and helping each other. So
yeah, I can't. Like, we have. Well, I thought I created a separate chat for like, you know, things we see on Instagram, whether that's like things we buy, because we both like the same things, or just like ideas that we see, or like book signings and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm messing with my hair at the same time. Just like, I don't know, if I see something I think she would like, I'll send it to her even though I don't like it. Like all the TikToks for Taylor. Now my TikTok is
now you're a Taylor Swift fan. Guess who was like, can we go see Taylor Swift together?
Not for $1,200 though. Brennan would kill me.
When you were just like, I don't like Taylor Swift. She can't even sing.
You know, I told Brennan that last night. I told Brennan that last night. He's like, you know what bugs me about her? Like, she's a great like songwriter, singer-songwriter. No, he said she's a great like business person, right? He's like, oh yeah, well, all her shit sounds the same.
It does not, because that's what people are saying about Torture Post Department. And like once you listen to it, you're like, these songs are all so different.
But she also sings about all the same things. The one thing that she has a hardship in her life over
are her relationships, but
ouch,
they're good.
Anyway, we could have a whole Taylor Swift thing.
But yes, it started because when was it? I was like watching TikToks of illicit affairs where it's like, don't call me kid, don't call me baby, like that. I was like, listen to this, it's just so good. And then you started sending me TikToks, so then it just kept on showing up on your TikTok, and now you love it.
Yep.
Someone said, can you go over your filming setup? Tori's used to be more complex.
Yeah, I cut back on that. I used to have this mic with my filming camera and I would have to sync it up. And that just gets too exhausting. And most normal fucking people don't even pay attention that I have a mic, okay? It sounds almost the same.
I have a mic, but it's like on my camera.
No. I'm
Yours is like
hooked
hooked up to your like things.
Yeah. I mean, I have like 5 lights in front of me. I have like 2 box lights, a table, because I don't sit on the floor. Well, I can't get on the floor. If I get down, I can't get up. Mine's a lot less, like, it's a lot laid back now than it used to be.
Yeah. I just have a lamp in front of me, a lamp behind me. This is set up on a chair, like on a little thing. Not that intense.
Yeah. I do want one of those like flippy things. Pauline has one. It's like it's the handheld things and it'll flip sideways or up and down. It's a tiny little screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want one of those. I've been wanting one. I don't know what that is. But that's like $900.
No. I have the same camera for like 10 years. So.
I do want a vlogging camera because this one is like bulkier.
I do really like my vlogging camera.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about getting one of those, but I'm like, do I vlog that much? But for Patreon, I do vlog a lot. So
yeah.
Like, we'll see. Maybe I'll get that this year.
Yeah. Is there a reason when you post what you've read, you don't put a star rating for every book? I don't know if that's for our stories. I only now post my 5 stars. Like if I do like my wrap up every time I finish a book, I'll put it on like my template and my stories, and I only mark if it's 5 stars because like I don't like pushing that like books I don't like. I hate talking about books I don't like. Like generally like on Instagram, I'll only do photos of books that I like. But also I do have a lot of authors who follow me and like I'm aware that they're watching my stories, so I don't want them to like always see like, oh, I gave your book 2 stars or like I gave your book 3 stars. So
yeah.
I don't recommend what I don't like.
Yeah, I always say this. Actually, had this conversation with Rebecca, actually, because she was talking about like looking at reviews. She's like, oh, because I was like, on release day, what do you do? And she's like, I really don't go anywhere near Amazon or Goodreads. And I was like, yeah, because reviews are for reviewers, not for authors. And she said, yeah, like obviously if there's something blatantly obvious, but like someone will DM me and tell me, like if it was something like a problem with the book.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I don't look at reviews. And I was like, yeah, because I'm a firm believer of like Goodreads, authors should not be on Goodreads, like looking at detailed reviews. Like one, I think that no author, wants to see that because your art is like up for interpretation or whatever. But also like, I also don't like to talk about negative things and also like negative books. But if I'm reading a book and I can tell it's going to be 1 or 2 stars, I just will DNF it and stop reading it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spend my time doing that, except that one fucking book that we read, that atrocious one for 1 star.
Yeah.
But, it's fine. I just, other than that, like, I really just don't.
Yeah. I just like talking about books I love, and I'd rather my platform be where they go to, like, look for books they like instead of, like, a platform of me constantly talking about books I hate, you know?
But also, as a content creator, that can get hard because, like, my most viral TikTok was me talking shit about Crescent City 1 because everyone said it was super spicy, and I was like, this isn't fucking spicy. I don't know what people are talking about.
Okay, but that's not, like, a negative review, though, either. That's just saying, like...
But a lot of people do, like, go viral or, like, get the most clicks.
There's a lot of people...
For negative stuff.
Yes, and they like make their content super negative because it does get views, but like I would hate that. Like I love talking about books. I don't want to talk about what I hate.
Yeah. But also reviewing is so particular. Like your star rating system is different from person to person. Like someone's 2-star could be my normal like 3-star.
Yeah.
Like some people actually use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star fully, and I'm someone who I very rarely rate anything 1 or 2 stars.
Yeah, same.
And I use like 3, 4, or 5 stars just because I'm like, I have to really hate a book to give it 2 or 1 star, like really despise the book. So I just don't put it on my stories because I just don't do that. I never have. Yeah. That's too much work.
I just don't like to be negative. But also I do think 3 stars is not a good review. There's people who are like 3 stars is still really good. No, if someone rates a book a 3-star, I'm not going to read it.
It depends. It depends on if I know the person.
If you rate a book 3 stars, I'm like, why?
But I rated Powerless 3 stars.
And you didn't like it.
But I didn't hate it.
No, but you didn't like it. So why would I read a book that someone doesn't like?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But there are people who'd be like, remember 3 stars are like a really good review. And I'm like,
3 stars is just average. Like it's a book. It's there. It's existing in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I see that.
Yeah. Anyways, we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
And you have to edit this one. So
sorry. Is there any other questions or no?
None that are interesting. So
okay. Okay. That's what I was going to ask. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating. Tell us what you thought of the podcast. Like I said, you can subscribe to our newsletter, which is in the description box, if I remember to put that. Tori, don't forget. Oh, what's the emoji?
We can do the envelope with the heart for our newsletter.
Oh my God, look at you.
I was prepared. I was thinking about it when we got to the end. I was like, think of an emoji.
Oh, I like that one. Okay, yeah, leave us that emoji in the comments down below.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed our bookish life, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.